Thank you. Lonnie Taylor, you'll lead us in.
Join us. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty, and justice for all.
We can get a roll call, please.
Okay,
Present.
Jack McCall.
What?
Here.
Here, sorry.
Mark White is absent. Bonnie Taylor.
Here.
Lucy Harper.
Here.
When you do have quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Next order of business is the agenda. Is there anything altered since we've received this agenda?
No.
And does anyone else have any amendments that they would like to alter this agenda that they've received tonight?
Motion to set the agenda.
Thank you. We want a motion to set the agenda. Second. All in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next order of business is our board meeting minutes, and have any of those changed since we received those in our packet? Thank you. All right.
Second.
I have a first Harper and a second one, Mr. Taylor. And all in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Then our next order of business is our financial reports. They're included in your packet as well. Have they altered in any way since we've received those? Thank you. All right. I have a motion to approve.
Second.
A second. First from Ms. Harper, second by Mr. Taylor. All in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next order of business is our engineering report from Mr. Evan White of Mid-10 Engineering. You have the floor.
Part of the flow meter project, they come in, we met twice, I guess, or once this week for sure. They're gonna put 12 meters in. We're gonna have 2 spares, and then we're gonna do a rain gauge, that's gonna, we didn't have a rain gauge called out, but the way the new software is going, the guy says basically it's gonna be a lot easier for us to track the data if we have the rain gauge, so I'm good with that. Even though you'll get some offsite, it's just the 2 softwares trying to talk together and having to do, so.
Any kind
there
of,
was-
any kind of amendment that needs to be made for that?
No, it's
Okay.
actually the same. We had 8 called out on the map. They've come and done some research and done their own and found all the areas, and they know 12 is gonna take care of everything, not good.
Okay,
As far as getting accurate data, so he felt good about it. He said he would order them, I guess today is what he said. He thinks they'll be in before Christmas, and he's gonna try to get them up and going after Christmas. We're not gonna start his days until the first of the year, but if he gets something in before then that's just that much better.
okay.
That is the update on the flow meters.
Great to hear.
We also had, the water tanks open. We had 9 bidders. Which we was expecting a bunch of bidders. 2 of them was, your 2 lowest was pretty close, but the low bidder was, Preferred Sandblasting and Painting out of Shelbyville, Tennessee. They're a reputable contractor. I've talked with the paint rep. They're good with them as far as the quality of work. And they had no, history of anything of the kind.
Where are they out of?
Shelbyville,
Shelbyville.
Tennessee. So y'all's options tonight are to award the bid for $350,386, which is part of the ARP money, which you do have. Or you can reject all bids and we can rebid it, but, out of 9 bidders, you're not gonna get any.
And
It
your estimated on that, what did you think?
was real close, I mean, they were all over because
Okay,
2 of them's contained and possibly 3 of them. So one containment was up to them if they want to do it or not. So one was because of lead and the other one's Snake Hollow, which is up there right on the road and power line, it's
it's
nasty.
nasty. Yeah.
So, but that's that job as far as that being open and, we still got a water line to do to get designed as far as ARP. And we are working on the plan, trying to get, we're starting with the permits before we come for increase, so. That's all I've got as far as projects.
So the movement you need from this board is to move forward on preferred sandblasting and painting Shelby, out of Shelbyville for $350,386 as part of the ARP funds that we've already applied for, that has been awarded.
To approve the contractor contingent upon, PD's approval.
353, thank you. It's 353, 386 for the correction on that.
Did you say 353 or 350?
350.
I'm sorry. I'll have to zero that.
So 350, 350,000, 386 even. And what about the paperwork? Did everything line up on their paperwork?
Yes.
As you reviewed it
Yes,
from the bid collections? Okay,
we got with EY on that and they're just good with it. So,
okay. So this is pending TDEC's approval.
yes, which EY is third party. Yes, they're reviewing it. They're okay it too.
Do we need to wait for EY or do we
No.
go ahead?
You can do it first.
Alright, so what is the motion, what's the decision of this body? We have a motion to approve
Second.
and a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And do you need any other movements out of us for tonight?
I'll take questions or comments.
That's cool. Thank you.
We went to midnight bids.
Mhm. Yep. 9 bids, federal grant, and this is the lowest bidder. No reasonable cause to not go.
I
with
was
construction.
forewarned we was gonna have a lot of bids, because you've got 3 tanks with them. You know, we're looking at time distance, so they can come in and stay a long time. Where most of these guys are used to going somewhere and being there just a couple of weeks and having them. Cause they travel all over the United States, most of these companies do, so. I was warned we was gonna have a lot of competitive bids, so that's good for y'all.
How many days is this project awarded?
180, I think, don't hold me to that, but
Thank you.
we're gonna try to have them to wait till the spring. Because of the we only allow them to paint on certain temperatures, and
Mhm.
it just becomes a fight trying to, are we okay to paint or are we not, so.
Okay. Thank you. Next order of business is our general manager report.
I do have our water loss report. It did increase back up to 35.6%. I have gone back, me and Scotty both have gone back through all of the numbers trying to figure it out, but I just can't. I don't know what caused it to take such a nosedive last month and then come right back up this month.
The water sold dropped too, is that? Just is what it is?
Yes.
Mhm. Huge difference from where we were a couple years back, so, just keep an eye on it, if you will. Anything you have to add down that, Tony, from your team, the rest of the team? Mm-mm. Okay, thank you. Road to Pereira Bend Tank,
We got it paid. Road to the tank from, further railroad, the tank's paid now. And the cameras have been installed up on Bourbon Tank in the pump house, so we can tell if somebody's coming in and out, somebody's up there. And, the Morrison Street tank, we're gonna see about taking it down. Cause it's out of service now.
For him on that. But I asked him, if he kind of wanted to, I guess, ask y'all, the foundation that's up there does not have to be taken out. Basically, you just take the steel structure down. Save a lot of money to leave the foundation unless y'all are trying to do something with that piece of property that it needs to be on, so.
no, but have we ruled out all the abilities to preserve that?
Which one, the tank?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
That's the, oh wait, that's not this one. That is one up here.
no, it's the one that's, the ceiling's about all in.
Yeah, okay.
That's not to say you can't put it on like a go, I mean, would you go that direction, you could try to sell it to somebody? Cause I know y'all bought some years ago, that's all around. You can kind of resell those, somebody will come in and try to get it and put it back together, but
So if it's taken down, is this is another bid to go out for someone to take it down? And
Correct.
then you'll have to distinguish if somebody will take it away or if they will leave it with us.
If you sell it, somebody comes and takes it down.
yeah,
Right.
correct.
Is that something to be sold for scrap?
Usually what happens is you get a demo company to come in, that's kind of what they do, but used to, they would pay you to take that time. Now they don't, so now they pay you, it's not gonna be a substantial amount of money, now they're gonna charge you to take it down, but it's their tank, so they'll take it, that's what they do, they scrap it out, just like, you know, to make up for the labor of taking it down. But now your labor's got so high to take one down, and now they can't just scrap it and make money on it.
That's on my checklist to be taken down anyway, so. If you need movement for us, not this time, once the bids come in.
Yes, sir. But you do want it done. What about the foundation?
That's what you want to do now.
Go with that? Departments?
That's what, I mean, you can always take that later, if you do something. It's just, you're saving money. now.
Right.
I mean, that's land you plan to retain, isn't
It
it?
is at this time.
It's got a pump station on it, so
Mhm.
you have to either get an easement around that and sell the property or just maintain it.
It'd be a hard quote. Okay, thank you.
Okay, and TTHM and HAA5 levels was a little high, and the letters been included in the bills sent out in November. So there'll be good bills.
You'll probably be getting calls from customers. Questioning it, I've included the letter that we got from the state, as well as the letter that was sent along with everybody's bill this month. We actually got the levels back from our November testing and they were still up. So another letter's gonna have to go out to include our November order.
And 0.08 is required,
Mhm.
and it's 0.083.
Yes.
And then,
One's only about 3%, one's only about 5%. One of those is high, the other's gonna be high, so it's not this. They correlate.
and are you all doing what you can to try to correct this?
Yes, ma'am, we're trying to put on a tank, it's where a lot of water's in the tank, it's not in.
It's, when you fill it up to 2 million, you'll have 54% increase in capacity from what you used to have in storage, elevated storage, when we put the tank in operation. That has to do with Sulphur College not being able to be taken down. It's 500,000 gallons. If they only run that tank half full, then it would be a 19% increase in capacity from what you used to have, which is, was kind of our intent, to run it there. The extra million was for future demand. If you need it, you can always fill it up. There's other ways around it, but the simplest fix is to run that half full.
Okay.
Unless something else is going on, that's what we're,
Okay,
it's not just, there's lots of causes.
and the number that's high this month is not substantially over this number.
No, I think it's the same.
About the same, okay,
Like,
okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you letting us know, just so we can be prepared in case anything. And if I remember correctly, I saw that this was a sample letter that they offer or that you wrote up for
No,
today?
the state sent it to me and I just added our name and some
That's what I-
information and yes.
It was their sample letter that they provided for you to submit to the members or the customers.
And it was hung up in a lot of public places today, the post office, down front, nursing home, hospital, places like that.
Okay, thank you.
Anywhere we put our CCR report, we also took a copy of that letter.
Okay.
Partnering code and planning to focus on our infrastructure for future development.
We met with Rosie, Monday this week, or last week.
Yes, last week.
Just trying to get together because we're usually come in on the back end of things, just trying to get us up front so we can better prepare for what's coming.
So they did that first.
And I recall Tommy talking years ago about how he would love to get ahead and get in collaboration with that department so that we could be a little more proactive for those who are trying to take things to planning to be approved and things, so that they're not hit and blindsided by what our lack of support is. And do you have any, do you have anything to add out? You have the floor.
You, well, in fact, you know, we've kind of been talking about this in planning commission for quite a while, as in, okay, do we have the water lines? What water lines do we have available for these different subdivisions that are coming in? Will they be able to have fire protection? What's the flow? And in fact, today, I don't know if you guys remember the towns at Melrose, the 113 townhome subdivision that was approved, yes. I'm getting calls about quotes on what a permit would cost for the townhomes. And in speaking with Tony and Emily and Scott, it's like, okay, let's start brainstorming, what can we do? And so we can go ahead and when they come to planning, to even go before planning, go and check with all the different utilities first, because water is not the only one that we need to be concerned about with infrastructure. You recall, about 2 years ago, they had a lot of problems with having transformers available for subdivisions to go in as well. So I think we need to establish that process where we know for sure that they're gonna be able to have that, so that we don't have any type of liability, shall we say, with those that say, hey, you approved us for this, but we can't build, now what? And going back to the Melrose, talking with Evan and asking about, hey, is there some type of template or something that we can use? And would he be available to kind of review, what does our water lines look like? Do we have the availability for water? And lo and behold, he found the availability letter that was produced for the towns at Melrose, that is gonna be a viable project, that we do have water available. Now, roads, that's another thing, that, you know,
One thing at a time.
right, that's not your circus, not your monkeys. So I think going forward, that'll be that step of the process, sending them to you guys. Do we have availability, and looking at, okay, how do we pay for all of this? Another way for us to start doing that is that we have plan review fees. Other jurisdictions do that. We need to have plan reviews. In fact, whenever somebody submits plans to me, I go ahead and start looking at, okay, this is meet code, this is meet code. And that's part of that process, or part of the permitting process. We need to make sure that we have the utilities available. And we can kind of subsidize that.
And for us to review the plan, since this department does not have an engineer on staff, we would be forwarding that to Evan is what we would do. And so that would be cost that would be accrued to this department to confirm. But it would also give the developer the knowledge of what's going on with eligibility. Some of the complaints you can get, you may recall, that would prepare them up front And I've seen the plan review fees in a couple of our other communities that we're enveloped by. And some do and some do not have engineers on staff, but that would be a cost. We would need to, I didn't think about this till just, we need to review our developers agreement for such a development like this that was just upgraded just around the same timeline. And this might be one of the reasons why we really went and updated this, but we do have a developers agreement that was updated probably about 2022. And that would be a place that we'd need to implement, any kind of plan review fees or infrastructure fees that we need to come up with. But that's also something that we've kind of put in the hands of our fee study group as well, that's working on our fee study, so.
Yeah, because there's tap fees associated with, 113 or something. They used to come to Tommy used to, he had a spreadsheet maybe where he could kind of give it to them and say, here's what it's gonna cost you, on day one. If it's substantial, especially.
It
That's
is,
kind of what they're asking her, it's a permit fee, but that's one thing, but I didn't get close to water and sewer taps.
because those come along as soon as the permits are pulled, those are required.
They have to bond up, for 10% of their, or special procedures that have to bond, but it is,
And they were definitely asking, well, who are the utilities that I need to speak with? So they're already aware.
Oh.
This is their first rodeo.
No, most of them,
Yeah.
they do it all the time.
When did that come? I remember that very well. Was that during Stephen Chambers' administration when they came in?
We done it to begin with, for Tony Whittemore, and it was, I don't know, 30-something, units, like 35 or something.
Yeah, I remember they brought forward
And then-
information then.
And then, Gaines bought it, and they redesigned it, I couldn't get to it at the time. So they had somebody else do it, it went to like 100, well, she said 113, 118.
So the
So,
renders were great.
so what I did was for 30 and something units, so, then that was from 18. It started in 18, it got revised in 2022, I think.
I think it got recorded in 2022,
Yeah.
and I pulled the planning minutes to look at that.
Okay.
And on these availabilities that we've talked about, I do encourage 1 year. So you can put a 1 year timeline on your.
Yeah, 1 year to acquire it, and this is what we are,
Well,
that
you're guaranteed.
that makes total sense, yeah. Because I know that some of the, I know that there was a neighboring community and their plans weren't, there was an open end on when they would expire, like when
Mhm.
they wouldn't expire, I'll put it that way. And so people were coming back and trying to build from 2015 to 2016 successfully right now, so. I thank the department and you totally for coming together and becoming proactive for the future in which this community is facing, so.
Now, y'all have a year time limit, no? So.
The expiration is
Yeah.
in 1 year.
Oh, no, here are the different, for preliminary plats, it's 3 years from the date of approval.
Okay,
For final plats, an additional 2 years from the preliminary with a 10-year limit for construction. And then phase projects are additional 5 years. So I think definitely the 1 year, and then they have to reapply.
yeah.
So they've got a time frame that they have to do.
Mhm.
I mean, you can't say, okay, we're gonna give you availability for 10 years down the road. Heaven's sakes, did we know we were gonna be in this position 10 years ago? I don't think so.
No, we
I
didn't.
think the 1
And
year.
your code's changed.
And all it's gonna take is 10 developments to come through planning that has 12 homes. And in that time frame, and that capacity is already taken,
Yes, from
from what we've, yeah,
from some, depending on what it's going to, sewer for sure. If you have a pump station, I need to overload those pretty quick. So, not necessarily the gravity lines, but, and then water too. It's site specific, that's why you always have to look at it.
do either of you have any questions, any of y'all have any questions?
Those terms, those length of terms need to be clarified.
That's the state.
I know, these are times,
Good luck.
that's a little scary.
That is. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Anything else, Mr. Tony?
Nice to see you for the, notice of any question.
We have discussed a little bit, some more training for the staff, just to. So so that's gonna be, discussed with the staff and let them to continue some recurrent training. Most of them are used to that, so I don't think, and if that happens, we hope that that will, continue a positive future. Next order of business we have is our board member. We have a vacancy still, and, I've not had any calls on this. I've had talks months ago with some conversation. Mayor, I didn't know if you, need anything from us or looking at anyone, if anyone would like to recommend someone.
I'll have teacher.
And if we've got some more names, if you'd like some.
I had brought forward Ben Fiok. I didn't know if Ben Fiok. I didn't know if that gone anywhere. If you had any discussion.
Make sure you keep your phone.
Sorry,
Make sure you keep that phone,
You remind him an hour.
yeah,
and I had one of the first come on, so we'll talk.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Next order of business is our public comments.
I would love to applaud the water department and their dedication on clearing up all of the different OSHA things that were just a little bit lacking. Everything is all done. We have one training left that, it's gonna be hands-on training with gas meters and actually going down and doing confined space training. OSHA has closed the files, and thank you very much. It's a pleasure working with you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Any board members have any comments?
hope everybody has a blessed and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You all too.
Yeah.
The county meetings, are they off for December like they usually are? Our next meeting would be scheduled for December 24th, and so being that date, if I could ask for approval for us to not meet in December.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moving second to approve that, and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll reconvene in January unless there's an emergency or some need by this department, so. And anybody else has anything?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
First and second on the floor, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Have a great week.